What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing a reading for all my Libra Sun sign friends. If you were born between the dates of September 23rd and October 22nd, then you are a Libra Sun sign, and this video is for you. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit differently. I'm going to be using some oracle decks, and I like to call this reading the Healing the Shadow reading. Each and every single one of us has a shadow side. It's our dark side. It's hidden from a lot of us, and it kind of holds us back. And it stops us from advancement. And the idea here is to figure out how we can heal aspects of our shadow so that we can move forward in the best way possible. One thing I do want to say before we get any further into this reading is that this is a general reading. Not everything's going to apply to everyone. But I think with this reading, most of you will know pretty early on whether or not it resonates with you, so that's good about it. I'm going to be using the Mortem Oraculum, the Keepers of the Light Oracle, and the crystal reading cards today to get to the bottom of this. So let's get started, and we'll start with this one. This card represents where your shadow lies in Libra Sun signs. Where your shadow is showing itself. And we've got intuition. And a wolf. Give me a moment with this one. I'm feeling as though, I don't know, there's something, the feeling I get from this is that your shadow is kind of preventing you from listening to your intuition. Is the best way I could describe it. All of us, each and every single one of us, is psychic to some degree. And our psychic abilities come to us through our intuition a lot of the times. And that's a gut feeling or a gut thought, or it's different for each of us, but we each have intuition to some degree. Most of us can't experience it, can't feel it, because we've been trained to not tune into it. We've been trained to tune into other things, and so we don't tune into our intuition. Other of us can feel our intuition. We feel those pulls, but we lack the confidence, or we lack the confidence to follow that intuition. Right? It was just a hunch. We don't put any stock into it. Some of us, of course, will go by only our intuition because we trust it, and we've learned to trust it. So I think everyone's going to fall on this scale at a different place. Some of you are going to be totally in tune with your intuition, and you don't allow the shadow to block it. Others of you completely allow your shadow to block your intuition. So the feeling I'm getting from this is, we all of you Libra friends fall somewhere on that line potentially, and I think your shadow is pulling you away from your intuition. It's trying. And a lot of times this will manifest with the ego mind. The ego mind will say, oh, that was just a stupid hunch. There's no such thing as intuition, right? After we die, there's blackness. There's nothing beyond life here on earth. And we all know that's not true. Okay? But some people are like that, and they completely block their intuition out. And I'm not saying that's what you do necessarily. Again, there's scales, right? So I think your shadow is trying to convince you not to pay attention to your intuition, or possibly it's just blocking you from experiencing it altogether. So figure out maybe where on that line you fall, and we'll see what the other cards have to say. Let's move on over to this card, which represents how you can heal your shadow. What entity is willing to help you? And we've got Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required for further progress. And this makes complete and utter sense, right? We've spent our whole life, we went to school, improving our ego minds. Learning facts, or being able to repeat facts, passing that off as wisdom or knowledge. And that's just how we're raised in this society, is to depend completely on the ego mind. What this card is suggesting is that if you would like to heal your shadow, you're going to have to transcend that level of thinking. You're going to have to raise your consciousness to a level where you understand what's going on beyond the ego realms, what's going on beyond the physical realms, what's happening on an energetic level. And most of you, if you're listening to this, probably have already done that. So you're already there, but this is a matter of expanding that. This is a matter of expanding your consciousness to the point where you trust your intuition. You hear your intuition, right? I think that's the first thing, is to hear the intuition, not with your ears, unless you're clairaudient, okay? But to hear your intuition, to recognize it, and then to trust it, and then to take actions based on that trust. And I think that comes from experiencing the higher realms and expanding your consciousness. And that's what Melchizedek is here to teach you. He's a great teacher because he allows you to come to these understandings on your own. And I think that's the most important thing. I could tell you 1,000 times over and over that you have a guide, you have angels, or you have more than one guide, that there's spirit beings that are around you, there's demonic beings that are around you at all times. And you can hear me say that 1,000 times, right? But until you raise your consciousness to understand that at that level, it's just me talking. It's not like it's going to sink in a real visceral way. It's just like, oh, you might even believe it, and you might say, yeah, that's true. But unless you have reached that level of consciousness, you're not going to totally understand it, and you're not going to be able to fully trust your intuition as well. So I think raising your vibration, thereby raising your consciousness, will remove the shadow's ability to block you from that information. So I think what this really takes is an intention. If you set the intention that I want to know all the answers, I want to expand my consciousness. If you set that intention and you put that out into the universe has no choice but to listen. Your guides, your angels, all these quote unquote energetic beings will hear that, and they will help you. They absolutely will. And your guides will help you. Your higher self will help you to raise your vibration to the point where you can understand these ideas, and to the point where your shadow doesn't have as much of a hold on you as it currently does. Okay, let's move on to this card, which represents what crystal or healing energy you can focus on at this time to help heal your shadow. And we've got rose quartz, inner child. Oh, look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Most people know about rose quartz. It's loving vibrations. It's just such a positive, uplifting vibration. But at the same time, what a lot of people don't realize about rose quartz is that it actually really brings up some dark stuff sometimes. I remember when I first started working with rose quartz back in the day, I would have some pretty intense dreams, and you might call them nightmares. But looking back on them, I believe it was rose quartz bringing up some dark stuff that I needed to heal. And rose quartz has a tendency to do that, but it does it in a very soft, loving way. It brings progress slowly, I believe, but it brings it, in constant progress. It brings constant progress, but it's not quick, fast progress. It's kind of the feeling I get from rose quartz. And I think it could really help you to raise your vibration. I think it's what you need at this time to help you to trust yourself. When you open up your heart, which is the chakra that rose quartz resonates with, when you open up that chakra, when you open up your heart chakra, that's going to help you to raise your vibration to the point where you can hear your intuition stronger. When you can feel your intuition stronger is really what I should say. So if you have rose quartz, it's easy to find, it's relatively cheap, and it's I think I recommend it for every single human being. I think we could all use rose quartz. If everyone in the planet, accepted rose quartz into their lives, there'd be no more war in like 5 years. Okay, it's just one of those stones that's just like, I love myself, I love everybody else. It brings out the inner child. It brings out a sense of play. So I can't recommend it enough for you and for everyone you know. Okay. So now that we've seen all the cards, Libra friends, I definitely feel as though I think your intuition is holding you back from consciousness expansion. I think it's holding you back from hearing your guides, and that's what intuition is. All intuition is information coming from the unseen realms, the realms that scientific technology can't quantify yet. And that's what intuition is. It's not just a gut feeling. It's true, real, truthful information coming to you in a way that you're not used to because society has taught you to ignore it. So if you want to hear your intuition in a stronger way, it's time to expand past the physical way of thinking, expand past the 3D ego mind state and move towards more fourth, fifth, and higher dimensional thinking, and that's going to take consciousness expansion. But it doesn't. It sounds like, oh, okay, well, how am I supposed to do that? All you have to do is ask for it. Set that intention. Send it out into the universe. I want to expand my consciousness as much as I possibly can, and the universe will support you in however it supports you. It's going to be a whole bunch of different ways. It might even be extremely painful. Okay, I can say in my experience, it meant severing contact with almost all of my friends, quitting jobs that I had, moving away from family, and just it was tough. It was difficult, but it was the most growth I've ever had. So gotta take it for what it is. And as far as crystal energy, just a more loving vibration, whether that's rose quartz, and if you're not into crystals, just try to open up your heart as much as you possibly can. Instead of thinking or feeling about the things that you hate, think about all the reasons why you love that thing. And that's one way that you can help expand your heart chakra. So that is the reading for my Libra friends. I hope you guys got something out of that. Again, just a general reading, not meant to apply to everybody, or all Libras, I should say. But if you want a specific reading where I tap into your energies, you can head on over to lightofriga.com. The link is in the description box below, and you can purchase any number of readings there. If you want this reading, it would fall under the 3-card reading category and cost as low as $10, I believe. So check that out, lightofriga.com. Be sure to do all the YouTube stuff. I really do appreciate it. All the liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. It helps spread the word of this channel, and the more people who hear it, the more healing that we can bring to this planet. So I think that's a win-win. And yeah, I think that's it for me. Thank you, Libra friends, for watching this. I want to wish you love and light. And leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.